Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my updated vintage handbag collection. These are all of my luxury vintage bags that I have collected over the last many years, and those of you who watch me here, you know that I am a vintage lover, and especially when it comes to handbags. And over the years, my handbag collection in general has definitely evolved and changed, and I'm now at about a 50-50 split of handbags. Actually, I think I have a few more vintage bags than I do new bags in terms of luxury handbags in my collection. I feel like luxury bags just tell a story. They're really special and unique in their own ways, and I feel like the quality, especially of a lot of higher end designer and luxury houses, was a lot better back in the day. So when I talk about these bags, by the way, I am referring to bags that are at least 20 years or older. I do know there are a lot of people who kind of classify, I guess, vintage as either 10 years or older, 20 years or older, 30 years or older. In my case, a lot of my bags are 20-something years old. So that is sort of the time frame when I think I just loved luxury handbags. That's when I sort of came into my own when it came to sort of fashion and style in the 90s. And so a lot of my bags are from sort of the late 80s, early 90s time frame. So yeah, I'm gonna get started with one of my, I'm not going in any particular order, but I am going to go a little bit by brand, and I'll start with the one that I have the least of, which is right here. I just have one of these. This is a vintage Fendi Baguette. This is the Mama Baguette, which is a little bit bigger. And I picked this up at a local consignment store when I lived in Charlotte a couple years ago. And I remember when I got this bag, the baguettes were kind of getting back on the scene as a trend. 90s handbags in general were starting to make a comeback, and this particular version wasn't one that I remembered, but I did have a friend who had the smaller baguette that looked like this, but in the more traditional baguette style, and I just always admired that bag and was so thrilled when I came across this one. I want to say I paid about $200 or $300 for it, and it was in pretty good condition. I would say obviously it has a little bit of wear and tear, being that it is a canvas bag, but for the most part there was no staining or anything major going on with the bag, and I just keep all of my handbags stuffed with bag pillows. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this one. I feel like it's a bag that I wish I had back in the day. I wish I was able to afford luxury handbags, but I'm so happy to have it now, and I feel like it works with so much of my wardrobe because I do wear a lot of black, and this bag is just perfect for that. So yeah, that's my Fendi Mama Baguette. Next up, I have two Louis Vuitton vintage bags. The first one is my Louis Vuitton Ellipse PM, and this bag I purchased off of a Japanese seller on eBay for about $300, and I was so thrilled with this purchase because this was in such wonderful condition, and I really don't feel like Louis Vuitton canvas today really represents what it was back in the day. This is just such a sturdy, more kind of thick canvas. It is in really amazing condition. Even the patina was very even and no really bad water staining or anything like that. I love this bag because it's so unique. I feel like it's a bag that had to grow on me over time. I had seen it on a few people and ended up, you know, inquiring about what the bag was. And when I finally was able to find one in excellent condition, I went ahead with the purchase, and she's absolutely beautiful. I have her stuffed, as you can see. There's just one little pocket in the back where I will typically put my cell phone or something really small. But the zipper is amazing. The canvas is amazing. Everything about this bag. You know, I think it doesn't look new because it has patinaed, but I love the look of that on Louis Vuitton canvas bags. I think that is what really makes my heart sing about Louis Vuitton, and what draws me to Louis Vuitton. And a lot of the newer bags are not my favorites, but a lot of the older bags, sort of again from this time period, are my favorites. So yeah, that is my Ellipse PM from Louis Vuitton. And my other Louis Vuitton vintage bag is, of course, none other than my Alma PM, purchased from the same seller on eBay in Japan. This bag was in excellent condition as well. It has a little bit of staining on the bottom, but hardly any. The biggest flaw is really this little dent on the bottom, which I think could be worked out if I were carrying it more and really stuffing the bag and trying to kind of work that out. But in the meantime, no one really sees the bottom of the bag anyway, and I was just thrilled that all of the leather around the sides and everything did not really have that water staining, and it was in such lovely, again, condition. This particular Alma is the one that has the one pocket in the back, which I love for my cell phone. And again, it was in such amazing condition without any staining. I want to say maybe I paid about $500 for this one, but just in such excellent pre-loved condition, and someone really took care of it, and I absolutely love this bag. And the last 5 bags I have to talk about are all from Chanel. I'm going to start off with my Chanel Diana flaps. These are in the sort of squared style in the front, and I have one in this beige color. This one has been dyed, but was in beautiful condition, and I absolutely love it. And I love it so much that I knew I wanted to get the same one in black. This is the small Diana, for anyone who's wondering. It has 4 quilts going across. I think the medium has 5. And then I purchased it in black this year off of a seller on Poshmark, and I was super thrilled to find this one. And this second one that I purchased was in very well-loved condition, but there's just something about this bag, like the gold hardware. I know a lot of people have asked me, I thought you preferred silver hardware to gold hardware. It really depends on the bag. I think if it's something that is brand new, I do go for silver typically, but there's something about the vintage 24 karat plated gold is just, it's so lovely, and it just so screams vintage to me. And so I just love the way that looks. And again, I have both bags stuffed, but they both have both were in very good pre-loved condition on the inside, no staining, no real visible scratching or anything like that, and they're just wonderful sort of timeless bags that I think might be my favorite bag that Chanel ever made, and so that is why I have 2 of them. Would maybe love to get a red one as well. Those for now are my 2 vintage Diana small flaps, and I absolutely love them. My next 2 vintage Chanel bags are my Chanel Kelly bags. I have it in the smaller size as well as the larger size. And this bag I went on a crazy hunt to find. This is the small Kelly in the black lambskin with the silver hardware. And it took me forever to find one in the condition I wanted it, in the black with silver, which is what I wanted in this particular bag. I don't know why. Certain bags speak to me in certain colors and hardware and whatnot, and I just love this bag with the black and silver. Particularly black bags I do really love with the silver. I think it kind of dresses it down a little with this bag because it can be sort of a very prissy looking bag, but I really love it. It's just a handheld. I know people have asked me if you can attach a strap. I think you probably could, but you might damage the bag because of the way the handle is attached on there. It doesn't really leave a lot of room to put anything through. It's got this nice sized pocket in the back, which is great for a cell phone. And what I love about the Chanel Kellys is that the layout of the bag, I'll just take the little bag pillow out so you can see, and the dust bag. The layout of the bag is just really simple. It's one open compartment. You've got a flat pocket and a zip pocket in the back. And it's just so easy to get in and out of. I do not have an Hermes Kelly. That is on my wish list, to have an Hermes Kelly, probably in the 28 vintage, but I haven't come across the right one for the price I am willing to pay. But what I do have is kind of a dupe for that bag, and I can say that I don't really love getting in and out of that bag as much as I love this one. This one is so easy with the turn lock to get in and out of. versus the Hermes bag. And I just wish they made this, I think they do make it in a medium size, but it is a little like longer and not quite so tall, so it kind of changes the shape of it. I love sort of the dimensions of or the size and dimensions of this particular one. So yeah, this is the smaller size Kelly bag from Chanel, and I absolutely love her. And similar to the first Kelly I showed you, I went on a big hunt for this particular one, which is the larger size, and I am also going to take the bag pillow out of here so you can see the inside of this bag. It's the same layout, just bigger, and this bag holds a ton. It's a monster. I think it's probably about the same size as a Hermes. Sorry, it's hard to close the bag when you don't have anything inside of it. It just sort of collapses. There we go. It's about the same size as the Hermes Kelly 32, and the Kelly that I love from Hermes is the 28. So I think even with these bags, I wish I had something in between the two sizes. But this one is great when, especially when you are wearing like, you know, bulkier clothes, maybe in the winter time here when I'm able to wear sweaters and things. This is a perfect bag. It's a little chunkier, and it just edges things up a little bit. And that's another reason why I love this particular bag with the silver hardware. And as you can see, she's in beautiful condition. It was really hard to find this bag in lambskin versus caviar. This bag is very common in caviar. You can find them all over the pre-loved market, but I was on a hunt for this one, and eventually one came along, and it was another Japanese seller on eBay that I purchased this from, and I could not be happier with this purchase. She's absolutely stunning. And my last vintage luxury handbag from Chanel is none other than my most recent purchase, which is my Chanel Classic Double Flap in the small size in the black lambskin with the gold hardware. And this is currently the oldest bag in my collection. This is from the late 1980s, but it was in excellent condition for her age. She's got the double flap there, and again, I have her stuffed with a bag pillow, so you can kind of just see in there. It did not come with the authenticity card, but I do have an authenticity certificate from What Goes Around Comes Around, and it's hard to actually even read the authenticity code inside, but it's on the card here and it matches up. So in any case, this is a beautiful, beautiful bag, one that I am growing more and more fond of in terms of its size and what it can hold. I feel like it's just that little bit bigger than my Diana flaps, that it can hold about the same because this has the double flap. But it also is a shoulder bag, and I think that flat bags just look amazing on the shoulder. I know a lot of people like to wear them crossbody, and I think for practicality purposes, I do like to have the option to wear it crossbody, and I can do this as a really short crossbody when I need to, but for the most part, I just love wearing this bag on my shoulder. I just think it is the most ladylike, sophisticated, gorgeous handbag, and I love that I was able to find a vintage one that to me is sort of like the quintessential Chanel bag. And now that I have this in the size small, I am actually considering getting another one or multiples in other colors because I just love the size and shape and style of this handbag so much. I know Chanel makes so many beautiful handbags, but the classic flaps and the Diana flaps are just my favorites, and I just find they're timeless. They work with everything. They really elevate an outfit, and there's something about vintage that is just beautiful. So yeah, that is one of my favorite handbags in my collection. So those are all of my luxury vintage handbags at this time. I do have a few more on my wish list. I would say that Hermes Kelly 28, if I come across the right one in the right leather for the right price, eventually I may break down and get that. I know I had wanted to get it for my 50th birthday, but I just haven't found the right one. So that just sort of remains an ongoing wish list item. Also, the small Chanel classic flaps, potentially in other colors, would be definitely something I would consider on my wish list. And I think that's about it right now. I'm really happy with my collection and happy to share it with all of you luxury lovers out there as well. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding anything I've talked about, please leave it in the comments below. And otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will see you all soon in my next video.